Let it be known that as we speak, I believe Kamala Harris is president of the United States.
Say what?
Mm-hmm.
How so?
Well, Joe had to get the colonoscopy.
Okay.
And so he transferred power to her while he was under the anesthesia.
Okay.
So God bless Joe, and I hope they don't, they might find something.
Has anything happened?
No, we don't have any bad reports.
Although, after you had mentioned that to me a little bit ago, there's a lot of jokes with people taking it in the rear in the country.
I'm sure.
And I'm not going to repeat any of that, but some of it's very funny.
George H. Bush did this a couple of times, and he transferred power to Dick Cheney when he had colonoscopies. Former President Trump underwent an unscheduled trip to the medical center back in 2019 where he reportedly underwent a colonoscopy, according to claims made by former First Lady Chief of Staff Stephanie Grisham. The claims, which were unearthed in a bombshell book, insisted that the president avoided anesthesia because he didn't want to transfer power to Mike Pence.
Wow.
So he said, get her up there. You get your whole fist up there, Doc.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, Doc.
Wait a minute. He had a colonoscopy and he wasn't sedated?
Well, every time I've had one, they give you a very pleasant drug.
It's very light the candles. It's kind of romantic.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah.
What are you doing after, Doc?
Glass of wine, some idle chatter.
We going for dinner after this?
A little back rub when you're done.
Oh my God.
Kiss on the neck.
Tell me okay, let me get this out of the way.
Check it out.
What? You're clearing off your desk.
Well, the other day, Reuvers wrote legislatures instead of legislators.
I knew this was coming.
And I promised an English teacher who had written this that I will take care of that. We have a new system, and it didn't take a day for it to happen again. We discussed the schools in Australia refusing to stage the musical Grease because they find it sexist, and so that was part of the show's description yesterday. And of course, Reuvers wrote Grease as in the country.
Double E instead of EA.
Chris.
And here's what I'm going to say.
Please tell me you did it on purpose.
I did do it on purpose.
No, you didn't.
You did not.
I don't
did
believe
you?
him.
Look at him. He can't even keep a straight
He
face.
did not do it on purpose. He's a dummy.
But the one nice thing about making an error in that regard, and Rook, I know you can relate,
Yeah.
is the instant reaction that we do receive by the hundreds of thousands of people that listen to our show on a daily basis. So I really do appreciate the feedback. Most of it very constructive criticism.
Yeah, they
by the
go
way.
right to the point.
You bleeping dummy.
I still get.
They get right to the point.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, that's one way to put it, Matthew.
Brian in Fargo. Well, that didn't last long. The November 18 podcast title describes how Australian students would not produce Grease the musical. The musical is spelled Grease as in the lubricant, not grease as in the country. Keep attempting to do the good work, Joe. And Richard writes, that didn't even take a day.
That's right.
It's grease, not grease.
Boom, again. They're
Boom.
jump right
You know
into
what we
it.
should have then?
Huh?
You know how if you're working in a factory or anywhere, like it'll say, OSHA says you've gone how many days without an accident?
Yes, Right.
I think we
yes.
need that in the podcast studio.
I think we only need a one number, 0.
Bob,
Maybe
It says
one.
0 every day.
Bob weighing in from Key Largo, Florida. Tell me this was done on purpose.
It
Somehow
was.
I think not.
It was, Bob, yeah.
I noticed the misspelling on legislatures the other day and knew what it meant, but I chalked it up to another guffaw by moron number 2. Today you started the show talking about this, and in the description of today's show it says grease instead of grease. Are you bleeping kidding me?
Yep.
Bert writes, you know what's comical? I noted in the header, don't know the technical term, the 1118 podcast used the word grease for the musical Grease. Remedial English and pop culture accuracy for Flowers. Then I proceeded to have my always anticipated listen to you characters. Well, you led off with the English teacher chastising you for a previous spelling error, and how would you go about correcting it? Why did I have a laugh at that irony? Although I have not tended bar in many years, I accept that GL apology on behalf of the current crop of bartenders. Johnny's news was correct about bartenders possibly being viable political candidates. There are a couple I know who probably would be an improvement on any of the current lot. However, they would not want the pay cut or loss of prestige. I'm almost done.